This audio presentation of You Are God is broadcast to you courtesy of mindworthyinfo.com and is presented to you by yours truly, Rasheeal Dixon. The purpose of You Are God is to break down the Bible and to show you that the Bible is nothing more than allegory, and it isn't meant to be taken literally. But throughout the ages, men has been taking the Bible literally, and by doing this, they have diminished the true mystical fact that lies within the Bible. You Are God is here to break down the Bible piece by piece and to show you that all the characters, places, and events are nothing more than different states of man's consciousness personified as characters, places, and events. Brothers and sisters, I thank you so much for joining me for this installment of You Are God. Please come on over to mindworthyinfo.com, subscribe to the newsletter, stop by YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Mystical Thinking with Rasheeal Dixon, and also come on down to Amazon and check out the latest book, 21 Biblical Metaphysical Techniques to Tap into Your Inner God. And today, I'm going to keep this brief, and it's going to be a quick snippet, but we're going to talk about one of the techniques in the book. And this is a fabulous technique, but we're not going to get in depth with it as much, but we're going to get in depth with it and talk about some of the meanings of the names so you could get the psychological meaning and see why it works. And we're going to touch into some of the science. This has a lot of aspects and a lot of angles to it, but we're going to briefly touch on it, and we're going to give you a piece so you can understand it. And then when you go out and do the technique and get the results, you're going to be like, wow, because this always works. This Joshua 6 technique is phenomenal. It's something that I learned, and when I learned it, it was every time I use it, it always works. And today's episode is going to be finding Joshua. This Joshua that we're going to find is the Joshua that tore down the walls of Jericho, the Joshua that captured the city, and the Joshua that lives within you. So, how can we find Joshua? Where is Joshua? Is Joshua lost? No. Joshua is not lost because Joshua lives in you. And what Joshua means God is deliverance. And deliverance, we know that it means the action of being set free. When something or someone is set free, it is no longer held behind, or no longer in bondage, or no longer feeling like it is in captivity. So many people are in limited beliefs and are in captivity based on their feelings, their emotions, and who they are, or what they accepted to become them. And they have no deliverance. Even the most religious person will say that they want deliverance, or will always seek deliverance, or go to some type of meeting and say they're being delivered. But then once they step out of there, they start to worry about how they're going to pay that bill, or start to see that their marriage is falling apart, or they don't know the real meaning of deliverance. And when you find Joshua, you know God is deliverance. And who is God? Your wonderful, incredible human imagination and your awareness to the I am factor that you create. Joshua in Hebrew means Yehoshua. And in Hebrew, this name also is one with the name of Yeshua, which in English translates as Joshua. And Yeshua, we also know that as Jesus. And if you study these metaphysical principles, you'll know that Jesus and Joshua is one and the same. They're not two different characters. It's just the same psychological state, or different states that, with different names, it's the same state, but different names, and they all mean the same thing, because Jesus is who many will turn to for deliverance, not knowing the true meaning behind deliverance, and they'll never be free, and they will keep themselves in a cycle of always needing hope or deliverance, when if they knew the power of their imagination and what they're calling on and their I am, they will deliver themselves from the bondage that they hold themselves in. They will deliver themselves from the hell that they keep on living. You look around and see a life that isn't something that you want, and see hell. You keep giving yourself hell. And in Joshua 6, mimics exactly what the words say, because the words hold the power when they are interlocked and embedded in your own consciousness, and it gives you, and you'll start to see the world start to change. And Yeshua, which is Jesus, which in English translates as Joshua. Yeshua is a short version of Yehoshua. And J is a modern invention, and there is no letter J in Greek or Hebrew. So we must know that this is all English when it comes to Joshua or Jesus. But we must also know that the belief in the power of this sequence of events that happens from the meaning of Joshua, which means God is deliverance, and that aspect of God that lives in you, that delivers you from any situation, that allows you to capture the city and tear down the walls of limitations. That's one of the metaphysical principles and the mechanics behind that Joshua 6 technique. That is the 21st week lesson in 21 biblical metaphysical techniques to tap into your inner God. So when you're finding Joshua, you're finding that God that is the deliverance that will tear down all the walls or the bondage or the limitations that is there that was holding you back. And Rahab, which is the prostitute, the harlot, because we know a harlot is a prostitute, and Rahab literally means prostitute woman, and it also means broad, which is a lady, large space and fullness. This is important because Rahab is nothing more than a metaphor for your subconscious mind being the woman, that many will prostitute this woman with different thoughts and ideas and won't be faithful to one idea of them being or becoming what they want to be or getting out of the hell, and they will flirt with many ideas that doesn't do them any good, and they won't have the fullness, and this large space of their mind becomes corrupted. You must treat this woman with respect, and she will give you everything. As a prostitute makes it her job to please every man that she deals with. She gives a man according to his wishes and makes him happy and satisfies him. So what is it that your subconscious mind is giving you that you're not satisfied with? The fullness that you get out of life is whatever you give this. So now when we understand this, when you read that Joshua 6 and you do that technique, I'm trying to make it make more sense to you so you see the mechanics behind it. Rahab is also a heroine in the Bible. She's a hero. If you study that chapter, and you will read it if you do the technique, you will see how she saved and she helped, and you'll see her role that is played. And that role is important. And that's the same important role that your subconscious mind will play when you write down your desire and do this technique as it is described, and you are delivered by that God that is in you. You bring out that inner God, and you bring out that light that gives you everything. And the son of Nun, who is Joshua, and Nun means continue, offspring here. When you continue on in the belief system that you have, whether it's good, whether it's helping you, whether it's not, that is your offspring. Your offspring is your child. And your child is an heir to whatever you give that child or leave that child with. So what is the heir to the throne that you created? Is it happiness, blessings? Is your future going to be a representation of everything that you giving yourself? And that prostitute, which is your subconscious mind, are you faithful to her? And is she saving you and giving you everything that you want? Or you're just embedding nothing but the hardships and the pain? And it is giving you exactly that. Nothing but the pain back. And this pain could become so much hell that it seems like hell is all you know. On your journey and on your quest to finding Joshua, Joshua could give you great deliverance, as deliverance is the action of being set free. Or you could be held in bondage. And as you hold yourself in bondage, you will continue to play yourself. And when you play yourself, you are playing yourself to lose at the game of life. This simple technique here, the Joshua 6, is so important, and it's amazing. Anyone who have done it has gotten wonderful results. It's a technique that's been around for years, and I was taught it, and it never lets me down. So brothers and sisters, I wanted you to listen to this and learn how you can find Joshua. I will continue on this Joshua series in future episodes, but I just wanted you to get a little taste and a little understanding of this technique, because for those who try it, it will be impressive. So go on Amazon, pick up 21 biblical metaphysical techniques to tap into your inner God, and try this technique. And remember to always make a note of your results. Family, I thank you for joining me on this snippet of You Are God. Remember who you are, and come on over to mindworthyinfo.com, subscribe to the newsletter, and remember, stop by Mystical Thinking with Rasheeal Dixon and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until next time, family, have a good one and stay blessed. Now, let us go into the silence.